I've been very vocal the last couple of weeks about how good I think this Reds team can be. What do you envision for the Cincinnati Reds this season?
Yeah, we are a playoff team. There's no excuses anymore.
Fly ball onto the track, at the wall, it's gone! Home run!
Turns on a ball, deep right field, and gone!
What a game, what a moment.
All right, I am pumped to welcome in now former Rookie of the Year for the Cincinnati Reds, Jonathan India. Jonathan, first off, thanks a ton for hopping on, man.
Of course. I heard a lot of good things about the show, and I'm excited to be on.
Appreciate that, man. I want to start with the most important news. You've been a dad for just about a month. Congratulations on that. How's that going? How's dad life?
It's incredible, man. I tell everyone it's hard to put into words, like the feeling you have every day waking up for your baby. So yeah, I'm just blessed, and I do everything for her now, and it's more motivation.
What's the hardest part about being a dad?
Well, you can't just do things for yourself anymore. You have to actually come home and be, a provider now. There's no me time anymore. That she sleeps well throughout the night, so we're pretty blessed with that. But no, you just have to be a provider every day now. So it's all about her now.
It's currently spring training. You're down there in Arizona. It looks beautiful behind you today. I saw you're battling a foot injury. What do we got there? You good? You're going to be ready for opening day?
Yeah, I should be. It was the injury I had last year. It's just, I'm making sure I'm okay for the season. So more time than, it's better to take the time now than the season. So that's how I'm looking at it. And I'm healthy right now. So another week I'll be playing.
Good. Congrats on your new deal, by the way. Just got a new deal signed. This offseason, it just seemed like there was a lot of speculation around you with a packed Reds infield and trade talk here, trade talk there, what's going to happen. And then you end up signing that deal with the Reds. What were you being told throughout? Maybe either by the front office or by your agent? Were people keeping you in the loop?
Yeah, I have a good relationship with the front office with the Reds. So yeah, we were I knew I wasn't going to be traded the whole time. Yeah, they just told me they want me there. They want me as a leader. They want me to be on the team still. I'm a big part of the team still. So, yeah, all good stuff. And I'm glad to be back. This is what I came up with, and I was drafted by them. So it's pretty cool to be here for another 2 years.
There's so much excitement, I feel like, around the Reds team this year. And you look at the infield, a place where you've been playing your entire career so far, and there's just so many names when you start looking around, and including yourself that can play infield as well. But where do you envision getting the bulk of your playing time this season?
That's a good question. I mean, I was told I'll play a lot of second. I was told I'll play a lot of first and left field. So those three positions are what I've been working on. I could play third, I could play short. I've played all infield before, so I'll play everywhere. I told him, hey, like I'm excited to play everywhere. I'm doing it for the team, and it'll be good for me down in my career too.
You got an outfield glove now?
I ordered one. I don't have it yet. Been using an infield glove out there, so these will come in soon.
I've been very vocal the last couple of weeks about how good I think this Reds team can be. What do you envision for the Cincinnati Reds this season?
Yeah, we are a playoff team. There's no excuses anymore. This team is special, man. I mean, just seeing it the first 2 weeks here, the mindset is so much better than it was last year. Even though we had such a good mindset going into the season, everyone has a year under their belt here, so it's like all these kids grow up more, and they're ready, and they play hard. So we all are connected. We're good off the field together, and that's what it takes. And we're a playoff team for sure.
I think one of the things that really excites me, obviously the lineup is very young and exciting, but the rotation, in my opinion, could be one of the best in baseball. I think it is I think it's by far the best in the NL Central. I think we could look back at the end of the year and say this is one of the best rotations in all of baseball. Green, Lodolo, Montas, Abbott, Ashcraft, Martinez. How
I agree.
good do you think this rotation can be this season?
It's honestly incredible. I faced all of them already in spring. And they're all just, I mean, they're all mid-season form right now. So it's going to be tough for teams to face us with this rotation. Even though, last year we had those three, now we had added two more veterans, and it's
Yeah.
like it's incredible, and Lodolo's back this year. He's a baller. So yeah, we're going to be in good shape. We score runs, we score plenty of runs. And we create havoc on the base paths. So, this team's special, and we're going to take it all the way.
Have you faced Montas yet? I feel like he was one of the best pitchers in the game of baseball and then gets traded and has to deal with all that injury shit that popped up and just kind of derailed his season. And I feel like he's just kind of now flying under the radar, but the guy's a stud.
Yeah, he's insane, man. His last outing was a couple days ago. He went 2 scoreless. He said he was like throwing not like season form, but he was still like 94, 95. I'm like, I mean, geez, and moving the ball. So no, he's locked in, and he's a good guy too. Really good person. He got along really quick with the team, and blended in real well.
Love that. Where do you think this season, where's the leadership come from this team? Votto's gone, at least for now, and seemingly, I'm not sure he's going to sign back there. And this team is so young, including yourself, but you're almost like a veteran on this team with tons of talent, but a really young core group of guys. Where does the leadership come from on this team in the locker room?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's just, we all know what our job is. We don't need a vocal leader in this clubhouse. We don't have a vocal leader in this clubhouse, I will stand up after games and talk to the team, but that's not meaning I'm a leader. I'm just speaking my mind after games. Same with Luke Maley. Maley's another guy that talks to the team a lot. But we don't have a true identified leader. We don't, everyone is their own leader on this team. Everyone takes care of their business, goes about their day, and makes sure they get their job done. And that's what we preach. We go out and give 100%, 10% between the lines. And as long as we do that, we're all good.
I had Votto on last year. He's just an incredible dude, a really fun interview as well. But I think he's coming back on the show again soon. So I got to ask, do you have a favorite Joey Votto story?
I think it was playing with Joey for 3 years. There's so many. He's such a funny guy, man. Really animated, I think he, when he did to Mad Dog last year, the interview, he was practicing that in the locker room for about a week, I think. And I would be like, what is he doing? Like, he's practicing with our clubbies. I'm like, is he practicing for an acting job or something? Because he could be an actor if he wanted to. He can go into acting. And it comes out in the interview. I was like, oh my, he didn't tell anyone what he was doing. And then he did it, and we saw it on TV. We were just in tears, man. It was perfect. Yeah, I think that was one of my favorite moments. But he's got a lot together, man. I mean, he's an awesome guy, awesome person, awesome leader. He really cares about all of us, and he loved the game of baseball for sure.
I feel like the world didn't really get to see the real Joey Votto until he made the decision to get on social media, and then his personality starts coming out. He was like totally against social media, and then finally gets on, and everybody just falls in love with him.
No, I know. He went through that whole social media thing, I think, my second year. Yeah, it was my second year, opening day. He made his first TikTok, and we were in Atlanta, and it was me, Farmer, and him. And then from then on, he was like, you know what it is about this year? It's all about the clout. And I was like, come on, we can't be doing that. And it blew up from there. He blew up everything. Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, and he's still doing it.
Speaking of opening day, we're getting closer and closer finally. And honestly, nobody does opening day quite like the Cincinnati Reds do. And for people that don't know, the Reds are the only team in baseball that play at home on opening day every single year. It's a literal party. It's a parade. How much fun are opening days in Cincinnati? This will be your third, right?
Yeah, it's my third now. Yeah, I think it's It's fun, but you know what? We don't get to be a part of it much, especially the position players. We're in the stadium the whole time.
Yeah.
So I've never honestly seen the parade yet. So it kind of, I wish I could, but there's two pitchers that go. It's usually the second and third day guy. They go out and enjoy the parade, and enjoy the fans, and see everything. But yeah, I've never seen the parade. So it's kind of sucks, but I wish I could be out there, but I got to take care of business on the field.
The hype this year is probably, it can only add to it. I mean, I know I'm excited to watch Reds baseball this year. I know the fans are excited as well. And one of the reasons why is a full season, hopefully full season, healthy season of Ellie De La Cruz. I can't wait to watch him play this year. How talented is Ellie?
I mean, he's a freak talent. He could be the most talented player in baseball, I think. And this year he grew up a lot more too, mentally. You could tell that he's taking care of his body. He's getting everything done in pre-work. His routine is locked in. Yeah, you could tell he really wants it bad. He really wants to become that superstar he could be. And yeah, this is a big year for him. I want to see him grow. I want to see him, be a dynamic player on the field. And he's a good kid too, man. He really cares about, people. He cares about winning. He's not in it for the wrong reasons, So
Yeah.
he's a baller, man. And I'm excited to watch him play.
What about you personally? Again, 2021 Rookie of the Year, 22 and 23, ups and downs and ups, and a lot of extra base hits mixed in there. But what would you say your goals for you personally are heading into this 2024 season?
Yeah, for me, I always set high goals for myself. But this year, I want to be healthy all year. I want to play 162. That's always my goal every year. I was, on pace last year, and I kind of just, my body couldn't handle it at the time.
Yeah.
I'm playing 110 straight. So, this is a big year. I want to play 150 and up. I want to play as many games as I can. Just get another year under my belt, like my rookie year. Continue that streak. I took care of my body this offseason really well. And I just want to have a full healthy season of helping my team win, and being a playoff team, because I know we could do it. And that's my goal.
What, over your 3 seasons in the big leagues, I mentioned obviously the Rookie of the Year, and then heard a lot about you and talking about adjustments you've made over a couple of years. What have you learned so far over the course of your 3-year career in the big leagues so far?
Yeah, I mean, everyone always asks me this question. You learn so much. It's so hard to put into like words on how much you learn.
Yeah.
I learned the biggest thing is, to stay true to yourself. Never shy away from the player you are. Don't try to be too much. Don't try to be something that you're not, because the big leagues will eat you up if you go against, the player that you are. So I kind of went against myself my second year. Try to put on some weight, try to hit more home runs, and that wasn't me. So I did it last year. The beginning of the year, I was raking where I was, being the player I'm, getting on base, hitting doubles in the gap, stealing bags. That's the player I am. So just staying true to myself and not trying to shy away from that.
I know, like, that's such a true answer, and it is so difficult to actually be able to practice that. In the minor leagues, like I would find myself, you turning an 0 for 4 into an 0 for 8 into an 0 for 12, and you look up at the scoreboard and you see your batting average dropping, and it's really difficult to stay true to yourself. So it really is impressive to be able to work on that and to get good at that. And I almost like I would ask you, obviously I'm not playing anymore, but how do you do it? It's almost easier said than done.
Exactly. Yeah, it's easier said than done. But I work on a lot of mental side of the game. I have a mental coach, and work on just being present in every moment and taking advantage of that moment. But yeah, you kind of just you build a routine in your day, and you stick to that routine throughout the year, which allows you to be that player, rather than changing your routine daily, trying something different in the season where you go into the game and then you're a different player. So I kind of keep my same routine daily, and just be that simple, hard-nosed player that I am.
Yeah. I want to go back to your college days, because you played at Florida, with a bunch of MLB guys: Dunning, AJ Puck, Coar, Pete Alonso, Faedo, Brady Singer. I mean, the names go on. Was there a guy when you first saw him play where you were just like, who the hell is this guy? This is insane.
You know what? I mean, it's gonna sound cocky, but I was coming out of high school. I was a very confident player.
Mhm.
Still am, but I was very like all by myself, and I think that's why I was really good at Florida. I didn't think anything of anyone. You know, I thought I was the best, and
Yeah.
that I was gonna be the star player. So,
Well, you were. So
yeah, well, I did pretty
it
well
worked
there.
out.
But yeah, that was just my attitude. You know, I was very young and came from an area where you had to be like that where I grew up. And so I kind of grew out of it a little bit. You know, I'm more mature now, but I still have that fire inside. But no, at Florida, there was guys like Alonso where in BP he was hitting balls. I mean, at Florida there was a basketball stadium behind
Mhm.
the baseball stadium, and he would one hop the basketball stadium, which was like 450. And I was like, I mean, this guy is insane. That was probably one of the only guys. Pitcher wise, Singer was nasty. Coar was nasty. AJ Puck, I mean, he threw 105. I mean, it was insane. I mean, there were so many guys, but yeah, there's a lot of under the radar guys that people didn't know. Like Buddy Reed was another one.
Yeah.
Who was the most freak athlete I've ever seen. Yeah, but there's a lot of guys at Florida that we produce that turn out to be MLB players and have successful careers. So it was a joy to play there, and I'll remember those years forever.
You're from the Fort Lauderdale area. Was it always going to be UF for you? Was it always going to be Florida, or
Yeah.
did you almost sign somewhere else?
No, always Florida. My dad went there for actually a baseball scholarship.
Yeah.
But didn't pan out well. He only played a year of baseball, then stayed there for school. But he was a Gator, so I've always grew up in Gator gear, and my dad loves Florida Gators. So yeah, I wanted that bad as well, and they were number one in the country at that time. So it made sense for me.
You ended up getting drafted 5th overall out of Florida. I love asking guys this question because, the MLB draft isn't quite, you see the NFL draft on TV, you hear about the NBA draft and all of that. But what was your draft day like for you?
I was actually playing baseball. I was in a regional, no, what is it? Super regional? Yeah, super regional final against FAU. Yeah, we're playing FAU. I think it was like the 7th inning. I remember the draft was going on. I'm like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
Let me focus on this game and win this game for my team. And I remember my dad was yelling from the stands. He kept putting up the number 5, and I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, 5? What does that even mean? So I didn't pay attention to it. I went up that at bat. I'm literally going up because I was running the dugout for my at bat, and I saw him put out the 5. I was like, whatever. So I went up to the plate and I hit a home run to take the lead. And I remember that moment forever because I crossed home plate and I went out the dugout. I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, oh, you just got picked 5th overall, man. Like, congrats. You deserve us everything. And I was like, this is such a cool moment because I just hit a go-ahead homer. Just got drafted 5th overall. So it was like a lot of emotions in that moment, which was a pretty cool feeling for me. But yeah, I didn't get to enjoy it like most people do, but it was definitely a sick moment.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, the homer
made it. Yeah,
that's
the homer was sick. Yeah.
What about in 2021? You ended up making the team out of camp. How'd you find out you made the team? What was that moment like?
It was awesome, actually. So going into camp, there was a little talk of me having a chance because I had a good alternate site. I was supposed to get called up in the alternate site, but I got hurt there. So there was it was also a position change. I was going to second from third. And I did, I worked really hard in the alternate site to be a second baseman. So going to the camp, I kind of knew, my position. I had a decent chance to make the team, but it wasn't, solidified. So basically, I put my head down and grinded. I wanted it so badly, and it took a lot for me to get through that camp because I was playing almost every game. I was backing up and then starting a couple, backing up, and so I was in almost every game. And so it was a week. I think it was a week and a half before the season started, And there was no talks like, oh, India's making the camp. We still have Mustakas, Suarez, Farmer. We had all these veteran guys that, I was like, maybe I'll just start in AAA and make my way up because I haven't played AAA yet.
Yeah.
And yeah, David pulled me in, and I was doing really well this spring, but David pulled me in a week and a half before the first game and was like, how do you feel? I was like, I feel pretty good. I feel healthy. I feel like the best I've felt in a while playing this game. And he's like, yeah, you're playing really good right now. What if I told you, you'll be a Cincinnati Red this year? I was like, oh, that's my goal, man. Like, I want to be a Red. He's like, what if I told you it's opening day? And I was like, no way. Like, he goes, what if I told you you'd be a starting second baseman on opening day? And I was like, oh my God, like, is this real? Like, this is right before a game in Glendale. Literally right like 30 minutes before the game. And I'm like, starting at second in the spring training game. I'm like, is this real? Like, so he, gives me the whole speech and he says, congratulations. We hug it out. And so I called my parents after, and it was like the most emotional call because of like, I really wanted it badly, but I didn't expect it to be at opening day. I didn't expect it. Most teams don't do that, for a first year guy.
Yeah.
So, it was an awesome feeling, man. I mean, that was the happiest day of my life. Getting that call or getting that conversation and calling my parents. And I'll remember it till the day I die.
Man, that's really cool. I got goosebumps even hearing that story, man. That's awesome. That's the conversation you dream of having as a kid. That's awesome. A couple of fun questions for you before we finish up. First being, outside of your home stadium, what's your favorite big league park to play in?
It's a good question. There's a lot of them. I'm gonna go Wrigley. Yeah, I'm gonna go Wrigley. It's just because of the atmosphere there is incredible. But I'm also a Mets fan, so I do like Citi Field.
I've heard the story a bunch of times, but how true? Your dad will literally watch Mets games before he even watches Reds games.
I kind of exaggerated that. I exaggerated that. He'll watch my games, but he watches both games every day. Like he'll record the Met game and watch my game. I put it the other way around. I gotta set that straight, by the way. He'll record the Met games and watch my game live.
Okay.
Yeah, but he does watch both games every day.
What about your least favorite stadium to visit and to play in?
Least favorite is probably Philly.
Philly, why?
I mean, those fans, man, they get crazy. I mean, they're tough, but it's always cold there too when we play there.
Yeah.
But I think it's more the fans that get to me than the stadium. The stadium's cool.
Yeah.
I like the stadium, but I don't know, something about they're just disrespectful to some of our players, and we've had problems there. But but Philly is Philly. You gotta play well there.
What about in your career, big leagues, minor leagues, college, wherever? Who's a pitcher that you just cannot figure them out? Your toughest AB in the box.
That's a good question. There's a lot of them in the MLB. No, I would have to go. Let's go Brandon Woodruff.
Okay.
He was incredible my rookie year and my second year. He didn't pitch much last year, but he's always tough to face, man. Especially that the Brewers' rotation over those years were like incredible. But I think it's Woodruff just because he had that mean fastball and he comes at you with intent. And he was a tough pitcher for me to face for sure.
Yeah, due to some injuries and some trades, that Brewers rotation looks a little different this year. That interdivision rotation ain't quite as good.
Not even close. So we'll see how it goes.
Last one for you. It was just posted on social media. I think the Reds golf outing the other day. Best question for you this entire interview. Who's the best golfer on the Cincinnati Reds?
That's easy. That's Luke Maile. He should be on the tour. I mean, this guy, you could watch. I mean, he is a scratch golfer through and through. I mean, this guy can go out. He can drink 6 beers on the course too and shoot 4 under. It does not matter on the day. He could be sober or dry. He's incredible. He's an incredible golfer. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, did you you pick? You're not a golfer like on the side, like going playing Corn Ferry tours or anything. Yeah, but no, he's the best golfer for sure.
Jonathan, I appreciate you hopping on, man. This has been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Been a big fan of yours from afar, and now pumped to watch you this year. Good luck. Come back on the show whenever you want, man.
No
I really
doubt.
appreciate it.
No doubt, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Of course, man. Appreciate it. Good luck this year. All right, just wanted to again thank Jonathan India for joining me here on Flippin Bats. What a fun interview. What a great dude. Congrats again on him becoming a father. The Cincinnati Reds are going to be a lot of fun this year. And to hear the enthusiasm from him, to hear that this camp is different, to hear the vibe is good, to hear him say we are a playoff team this year, there's no doubt about it. It was really cool. And honestly, I really did get goosebumps from that story of him talking about his dad holding up 5 in the stands when he got drafted 5th overall, hitting that homer, and then finally figuring it out. And then his story of getting called up to the big leagues and realizing he made the roster on opening day. It was just a really cool interview, I thought, and really appreciative for him to come on. So I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, wherever. You can also watch every episode on YouTube or on Spotify as well. And make sure you follow along on all social media at Flippin Bats Pod for all of them. But that does it. Thanks again to Jonathan India. And until next time, my friends, remember, find your bat and flip it.